In this video, I am going to show you my process for packaging up and posting large pastel artwork. You will need a large box. If you buy your materials from Jackson's Art and you buy big pieces of paper, they will come in these big size boxes. Make sure you keep them because they are so useful for packaging up large pieces of artwork. So the main thing with pastel is you don't want anything touching the actual artwork except for some glassine paper. So get yourself some glassine paper. Jackson's Art do sell them, and that is the only thing that should be touching your artwork. Just lay it on very lightly and then use a little bit of masking tape to keep it secure on the edge of the paper. Then once that is done, that's when I start preparing the boxes. Now the good thing about these Jackson's Art boxes is they've got these like ridges at the end, which means you are creating a little bit of a layer between the artwork and the outer box. So I'm just taping these down to keep them nice and secure. If the box you're using doesn't have these already built in, then you can just create the same effect by just layering together pieces of cardboard just to create like a bit of a bridge between the bottom of the box and the top of the box. Next, you want something rigid to place your artwork on top of. Here I'm using a thick piece of cardboard, but you could use grey board as well, and simply cut this down to the size of your outer box. Can you see that there is at least 5 centimeters between the edge of the artwork and the edge of this outer piece of cardboard? That is really important because you are ensuring that if there are any knocks to the parcel when it's in the post, it is not going to actually affect the artwork. Tape the artwork down to this piece of cardboard or grey board, but make sure that the tape doesn't touch the artwork itself. So you're just using the outer edges of the artwork to tape down onto this piece of board. Once that's all ready, then you are ready to assemble the piece. So you can see it fits nice and snugly in between those two like little bridges I've created. And then I'm just going to again tape that extra piece of cardboard that the artwork is attached to. That piece of cardboard now gets attached to the outer cardboard. There's lots and lots of layers going on, but still nothing is touching the artwork. Finally, I'm just adding another piece of cardboard, which is going to be attached to those little bridges that I created. This is providing another layer of protection between the artwork and the outer parcel. So if there are any knocks or anything happens, then there are at least 2 layers of cardboard now between the artwork and the outside. But again, nothing is actually touching the artwork. Another reason to do this is because if you're going to put a thank you note in your parcel, you don't want the thank you note to be touching the artwork either. I honestly don't think that using old cardboard for your parcels makes a big difference to your customers as long as the artwork gets there safely. And I've had no complaints by using old cardboard to post any of my portraits. Now, this is the method that I use to weigh my portraits. So I actually weigh myself first, write my weight down, and then I go back on the scales holding my parcel, write that weight down, and then I deduct it. So then the deduction is the weight of the parcel. Then your last job is obviously finding a company and paying for postage. Now, there are a few companies that I use, and it depends on the location of the customer. If I'm sending overseas, I will just go straight on to Transglobal Express because they will come up with some different options for more of the courier companies overseas. For UK, I will always use Royal Mail for small parcels, and I will always use the special delivery service. But for this large parcel, it's too big for Royal Mail, so I will either use Parcel Force or DPD, but it's really important to make sure that in the terms and conditions, whichever courier you're using is happy for you to post artwork, because sometimes they just don't like it at all. Anyway, I hope you found this useful. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!